Hello everyone, welcome back. We're trying to get a few little odds and ends done up around here. One thing that I have noticed that we're probably going to need is the New Holland TN70's probably going to need a battery. I've noticed on these cooler days that it is a little hesitant when it comes to starting. So we may have to stick a battery in that before the winter's over with. That's one reason I've got it turned around, backed into the barn, so I can jump it off if need be. But that's not the gist of today's video. I'm actually looking for a measuring tape currently, and I've spied it. So the gist of today's video. All right, what we're gonna yak about today? Well, who knows, right? But no, actually, there's something that I'm going to talk to you guys about, and hopefully you will follow along with it. All right, so we're going to talk about the evolution of small farms and the evolution of my small farm. But before I get into that, just a real brief shout out. Justin with Just Living. He's got a YouTube channel called Just Living. Had a mishap. He's a really good guy. I've met him. I actually sold him some corn this year. He don't live too far away from me. Seemed like a super good guy. Unfortunately, we were preparing for Hurricane Florence the day he came down. I didn't get to hang out with him as much as I'd like to have. But check out his channel. Go check out his channel. Like I said, he's a super good guy, and you know, he's had some misfortune, and Justin, recover quickly. Anyhow, back to what I was talking about. Small farms. Okay, I have alluded to a couple times something new coming to the farm. Well, for sure there is one change of direction in the farm coming. And I cannot talk about that at this point. And once we get to that point, you guys will understand why. Okay? But another one is I've got a unique situation. Okay? And I'm going to put you guys right here. So you won't be shaking around. I won't make your car sick. So I've got a unique situation. I've got a situation where I have a demand and a market in place for a crop that I don't grow. Now, this crop is an easy crop to grow. It's lower monetary value, but it's also very low input as far as time and resources. The issue that I have is I don't have the specialized equipment that I would need for it. So I'm actually looked at some of specialized equipment already. Thought I'd found it, and it didn't work out, so didn't go. But kind of along those lines is, you know, my farm is always changing. It is continuously evolving. It is continuously shifting around. There's things that are added and there's things that's taken away. And I've talked about this before. But the goal of all of that is to keep the farm healthy and stable. Now, 2 years ago, it was primarily just vegetables. Now, in the vegetable farming, we all know it's up and down, and there's more and more government regulations getting involved with vegetable farming, even down on the scale to which I'm doing it. And just to be blunt about it, you know, some of the regulations are putting farmers out of business. Well, I don't want to go out of business farming. I like farming, and so what I do is start diversifying the farm. I started out, grew up on a farm. We had cattle, a few cows, horses, chickens, hogs, but most of it was the subsistence farming, that we grew for ourselves. A lot like some of the homesteading type folks do today. But we grew tobacco as our cash crop. When I got married, I started back to growing tobacco. And then I bought some beef cows, and I had cattle and tobacco and cattle and tobacco. And then worked full time and so forth and so on. And then I took 3 or 4 years where I didn't grow hardly anything. Done a little hay, few odds and ends, nothing major. And then I started back into vegetable farming with strawberries. I grew some strawberries. And then we expanded from there into other things. And it's evolved into what it is today. Now, with that being said, I'm constantly looking to diversify. And the farm is always evolving. I went from kind of purely vegetables to last year we set out the Christmas trees, and then I went back into strawberries. Just trying to stay ahead. There's ups and downs in it. And then the new thing that is added, that will be added this year, once again, broadening that impact. And what you run into a lot of times with farming, both established farms or starting out farms, established farms a lot of times fall into the danger of doing the same thing, doing what you're comfortable with, regardless if it's a good idea or not. And sometimes that can be a problem. For instance, if you start out, let's use pumpkins. If you start out into pumpkins, more and more people grow pumpkins. There's a less demand for pumpkins, but you just stay on it and stay on it and stay on it. Maybe eventually one of two things will happen. You'll either become the pumpkin person, or you'll get gobbled up by the pumpkin person. And then usually what happens is everybody grows them, prices get really, really, really cheap, people quit growing them, and the production goes down. Boom. People start growing them because price is up, and you do really good, and then it back up again. Boom. That happens with all farming. Cattle, Christmas trees, pumpkins, vegetables, tomatoes, broccoli, cabbage, corn, sweet potatoes, you name it. That happens in farming. So what you got to do is, or what I try to do, is have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. So if I'm growing pumpkins and production gets so high that they're really, really cheap, I'll cut back to just growing enough for some good, solid, secure markets and make a little money on it. And I'll hold that until, demand goes up, then I'll increase production by demand. So that's the way we do it. When we add something new to the rotation, we always start small. I didn't set out 2,000 Christmas trees, which gotta get some videos on them. I've not done a video on them in a while. But I set out 100. Very few. And we'll see if it fits, if we like it, if it works, etc., etc., etc. Going back to my original statement, this market that I have for this product that I'm not growing, the problem with that is I've got to buy the equipment to test the waters. And in order to justify buying the equipment, I've got to go in at a little larger scale than I'm comfortable with, to be honest with you. So we will see if that works out. We should know in a month or so. The other new thing coming to the farm, as far as part of the farm, it's coming. Can't talk about it. I will later, I promise. Don't give me too hard a time for keeping you guys in suspense, but it is coming. Anyhow, that's just a little bit kind of my thoughts on small farms, or any farm for that matter, the way it goes. I have a master 10, 20-year plan. If it works out, maybe. We'll see. Ideally, I would farm, not full-time. I would work. My full-time job, I'd be self-employed. Would be the ideal thing. But currently I'm not. And, be self-employed at a specific job that I've done in the past, and basically work through the winter and part-time through the summer at HIT, and then farm during the summer would be my master plan, if you will. But we'll see how that goes. It all takes working capital, and if you're farming for a living, you know that can be something that a little hard to come by. But anyhow, follow along with us. Sorry for the rant. I've jacked my jaw here for 12 minutes. Do check out Justin's channel, Just Living. And if you like what we're doing, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. And we'll take you guys along for the ride. Until next time, take care of yourself. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.